Welcome back. As protesters across the globe rally around the call to end racial injustice, corporations are hearing that call for change. Sephora has committed to the 15% pledge and has called on big retailers to follow and reserve 15% of its shelves to Black-owned businesses. Adidas says that it will fill 30% of its new positions in the U.S. with Black and Latino applicants. And shipping giant UPS will donate more than $3 million to programs supporting African-American communities. It will also step up its unconscious bias training for its workforce. Joining me now is Kevin Warren. He is the Chief Marketing Officer for UPS. Kevin, thank you so much for being with us. So just give us a sort of global overview of what you think corporate America's role is in addressing income inequality in this country.
Zane, thanks for having me. So corporations, and I think I'll talk specifically to my company, UPS, we know that we have an obligation to make the world better, particularly in the communities in which we do business. So we need to be able to use all of our resources to make a difference. And so when we first saw all these things, these atrocities that were happening for innocent people and really being murdered, we knew at UPS, although we do a lot, we had to kind of raise our game and really have taken two approaches. One is outside in the community. That is, how can we advocate from a political standpoint to make sure that the Anti-Lynching Act at a national level and hate crimes at a state level, particularly those states that haven't adopted that, including our home state of Georgia here, that we kind of push that. Secondly, we did want to invest, and you kind of referenced the additional $3 million with our partners, such as United Negro College Fund and the Executive Leadership Council and others, to make sure that we upped our investment to be able to make a difference. Thirdly, we wanted to ensure that we just weren't writing a checkbook, that we wanted to make sure that our employees were engaged in the community. So we pledged 1 million employee hours in communities and Black communities that were affected to be able to make a difference as well. So that was really kind of our, we wanted to take this heartbreak that we had, to then change to anger, to then change that to action.
I do want to touch on the $3 million you mentioned, because it is going towards anti-racism groups, civil rights groups, so the NAACP, National Urban League, colleges like Morehouse and Spelman. $3 million, obviously a nice gesture, but from a practical perspective, how much of a difference do you really think that's going to make?
Well, that's not a net investment. That's an additional investment that the UPS Foundation has already been deploying. So, this was, we kind of took an inventory as to what we were doing because this is one of our values. And we said, okay, that's good, but we need to kind of take it up a level. And so this $3 million was an additional investment than what we've already been doing.
And in terms of the unconscious bias training, you're educating your staff on racism. Just walk us through what that would actually look like, just in terms of how you're going to be educating your staff.
Yeah, so, not only do we want to make a difference externally, we're also looking internally. And, this is, diversity and inclusion is one of our core values of our company. I know a lot of companies might say that, but when you look at the top 11 executives inside of our corporation, over half of them are diverse, including 3 African Americans, a Hispanic American, and 3 women, including our CEO, Carol Tomei. So, we're starting from a foundation of this is something that's important. But we know it's not enough. And so we said, okay, let's take this as an opportunity to engage our employees, to be able to have crucial conversations, to kind of raise awareness, and maybe raise awareness by, some of our white colleagues that may be doing things they're not aware of that could come across and actually be unfair. So that's some training that we're going to undertake to make our company better.
All right. Mr. Warren, thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it.